Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. These are Wednesday episodes where we have special guests with us. They talk how it is to work from home. We all know these are difficult times, challenging times, but also we can hear of people who really take advantage of whatever they're doing at home. So we have Ross Fraser with us. Welcome, Ross. Tell us a little bit about your life, how it is to work from home or be at home.
Okay, thank you. Nice to be with you. Yeah, I'm under a stay-at-home order like most people are these days, and learning how to cope with that. And one of the things that's a little bit different for me is that I'm also in a new place and kind of new phase in my life. I retired about a year and a half ago, spent a good part of a year traveling, seeing friends, doing things like that, and decided to relocate to Colorado and came out here around the end of the year of 2019 and have been getting settled in the process of doing that and getting established. And then the stay-at-home order came along. So I'm definitely learning about operating and doing things from my new space. What I've found is a couple of things. One, I've reconnected with, I used to live here in the 80s, and so I have a number of friends here and some professional colleagues, and I have reconnected with them, which has begun to open some doors in terms of things that are possible to do. And then because of the kind of time that we're living in and the really challenging things that are happening and the need for folks to try to step up and provide help where they can, I've looked to Colorado has a pretty robust program to advertise volunteer opportunities or volunteer needs. And so I've been able to connect with a social service agency that's a nonprofit that's in the next community and begun to work with them in terms of some things that I can do from home. Really not comfortable being out and being with a lot of people at this point, but they do a lot of work over the phone in terms of social service things. And then the other thing that they're starting a new program that somebody asked them to take on, which is a food distribution program. They've not done that before. And so I've been helping with that, both in terms of being in touch with people on the phone to coordinate whether or not they need a delivery and so on, and then actually going out and doing the delivery, and that's set up so that you have minimal contact with folks. The food is actually left for people at their homes, and you don't interact with them except whatever telephone conversation you have with them. And that meets my needs both to have some activity and also to feel like I'm making some contribution and to do it in a way that's as safe as possible. So that's helped. And then I've reconnected with a church community that I was part of when we were here before and have, offered to do some volunteer things. And we're, they're making a rector there, the priest who's in charge, making a really good effort these days to have something going on that people can connect online for services they can do online and through Zoom or through Facebook Live. And so I've been helping with some of that. And then, I've been kind of enjoying having some free time and doing some reading and doing some fix-up stuff around the house. And the weather is nice enough most of the time that I've been able to get out and walk for 2-3 hours every couple of days. And that helps keep my sanity straight. And it's set up so that I can do it, and it's not really an imposition on social distancing and so on, and yet and I still get some good exercise. So that for me, it's a sort of combination of having some particular activities that I'm glad to do and I can do from home, keeping social contact through Zoom or FaceTime or telephone or text or whatever with a variety of people, and having something to keep me a little bit active so that I'm, both physically and intellectually have something to do.
That's important. And I remember when you said you would retire, I think we had to send you almost like a calendar invite. You were traveling so much so that we could coordinate a meeting with you. It feels like it went up, up, up. You were planning and going, and now it's this, what do I do? But from what I hear from you is connecting with others and also giving back to the community, and probably because you're newer again in this community, to reintegrate yourself. It's a big aspect of that. And I think that's really nice. And tell me a little more about keeping sane, because I see a lot of people who are like, obviously I talk to people who are working, but I think it's also an important segment, people who don't work anymore. What do we do? What do we do? What can we learn from you on staying sane and healthy and safe?
Well, for me, I think there are three pieces to that. There are probably more, but at least three pieces I can articulate. One is figuring out ways so that for me, it's important to have social contact and be talking with and sharing things with friends and so on. And if you in this particular circumstance, you can't do so much in person, but being able to be and willing to take some initiative to call folks or communicate with people in some ways so that satisfies my need for social contact. Physically being able to get out and get some sort of exercise, whether it's doing something outside, whether it's finding some things online where you can do exercise or yoga or that sort of stuff, so that there's something that's physically happening for my body. It's been a big part of my life for a long time, and if I couldn't do that, I would have a very hard time, I'm sure. And the third thing is, and this is a learning piece for me, I'm finding, and I've said to some friends, that I'm glad that I find that I like my company, and recognizing that is good. And there are points at which I actually consciously give myself permission that it's okay to just relax or do something that's, reading or research on the computer or looking up and doing things that are activities that oftentimes I didn't have as much time for as I like, and if I get a little more sleep, that's probably a good thing.
I think so.
I was often short on sleep when I was working and doing other things. So I'm enjoying
that.
making sure that I feel okay about it.
Yeah. So it's about giving the permission and be okay, right? Yeah. And I think when I listen to my mom, she says, I'm bored. I'm like, yeah, I think there are times when everybody is bored because we cannot go out and be out and about as we used to, but being okay because there is no other way at the moment.
Right. Right. Yeah. But it is about, I think, sometimes giving yourself permission to take life a little quieter, or that it's okay if you're not doing something super active every minute of the day, as long as for me at least, as long as it's part of my day or part of my week that I've got activity and things to do. That's I'm finding it a nice balance.
So in one of our episodes, we were talking about marathon, and you said you need to have a plan. So it's almost similar, right? So you have, it seems like you need to have interaction, giving back, but then also have the permission of taking a nap or sleeping more. So it's kind of like to find that balance. I think that's important.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. Yeah. And my personality is such that I sort of like to have plans, but I don't, I'm also willing to do and sometimes inclined to do things kind of intuitively, and that's okay too. It may be a little bit like when you run a marathon and have a training schedule, and you've got that sort of base to work from, but on any given day, there may be a reason, or you may have a strong feeling or intuition that says, says this kind of workout and these kind of miles, but today I'm going to do this because that really feels like it makes more sense. Yeah. And being able to have that kind of flexibility to, helps to know yourself and helps to have information and then use it in the best way possible.
I think these are very wise words. So thank you so much, Ross, and enjoy your company and good luck with staying at home. Thank you very much for being with us. An interesting way to learn from Ross how to reach out to others, even when you're at home, when you're retired. What can you do in your community? Thank you for chiming in. Every Monday, every Wednesday, we have new podcast episodes. Take it from the Iron